One worry among parents of special children or adults is that what happens to their wards after their lifetime. An inclusive housing project outside Chennai attempts to address this in a professional way. They're earmarking 100 flats in that 2000 apartment complex for such families, where they would also have group housing where these children or adults requiring special needs will be able to grow up. And even after their lifetime, a system is put in place to make sure their lifestyle will not be compromised and these children or adults would be taken care by professionals, both in terms of their physical and vocational needs. In fact, specialized groups like SCAN, Special Child Assistance Network, and Vidya Saga, who have been for ages working with these groups, have joined hands to make this work. Joining us now, Mr. Gopinath from the Special Child Assistance Network, SCAN. So, thank you very much for your time. How does this model work? You said the parents also live in the same complex in the apartments,
Yes.
and the children or adults who require special care,
Yes.
they live separately but in a group kind of housing, is it?
Absolutely. See, the question in everybody's mind is, how will my child be looked after my lifetime or when I'm incapacitated? So, the best way to give that assurance to the parents is to demonstrate it during their lifetime. So, what we are suggesting is that we will have what we call group homes, which are nothing but a shared accommodation for the persons with disability, 3 or 4 people to an apartment with appropriate caregiver as required, as well as all the support infrastructure like a common cafeteria, a vocational center, and so on, so that they are able to live there in the group home, they're able to work in the vocational center or on the campus, and they're able to enjoy the recreation facilities, the play aspect in the community itself. And the parents live close by, so they can give support to their child. The child can go visit them in the evenings or weekends. They can come and see how the child is being taken care of. They can give tips to the caregivers as to what the child's preferences are, because some children may not be verbal, some children may have certain issues with certain things. Therefore, they'll be able to guide the caregivers as to how to look after the child. And they will also be therefore rest assured that the children are being well taken care of during their lifetime in front of their eyes.
Right. Money wise, how does it work? The parents would have to buy a flat for themselves.
Yes.
And what about the other joint group housing?
For the group home, it will be on a rental basis. What we are doing is we are providing the group home completely furnished, so that there is the same level of furnishing across all the group homes. Also, we will take care of the general maintenance, housekeeping, sweeping, mopping, etc. So we will be taking care of all of that, the common electricity. Also, it will be in fact like a service apartment where you go in with your own luggage and you pay a certain amount for this. And then, of course, everything else will be on the need basis. That is, you pay for the food you consume. You pay for the therapy services that you take. You pay for the amount of caregiving, the caregiver services, depending on the amount of caregiving required. Somebody may need a full-time 24/7 caregiver. Somebody may just need help in the morning and evening. So it really depends, and you pay for what you use.
Now, after the lifetime of the parents, who financially supports the services the children who may not be earning would enjoy?
So we are encouraging all the parents to set up a trust in the name of their child, which will ensure that the finances are available to take care of the child after their lifetime. So we will help the parents in doing this right from the beginning, so that they create a trust, they make sure that the appropriate assets are there for the child, which will then be used to finance the child's living expenses through their lifetime.
There's no reverse mortgaging system.
See, that is a individual financing arrangement for the persons, for each family to look at.
Right.
Yes, in many cases, the apartment that the parents buy and stay in, that will be used as the source of funding for the child later on. So maybe it will be rented out, and that money will be used to take care of the child. Some people don't want to do that. They want somebody else in their family to come and stay there in the same complex. They say, my other child will come and stay with his family or her family, or some other relative will come, so that they can look after the child, be close to the child. So we will make other arrangements for funds. So it's up to each person to make the arrangements. We will help them to how to structure it in terms of the legal aspects of it.
Is it a dream come true?
Well, it's a dream, and we have to make it come true. It's definitely a dream in progress, in the making. It's definitely a first step for SCAN. It's a big step, as they say, as Neil Armstrong said, it's one step for man and big step for mankind, But in the same way, it is one small step for us, but I think for the disability community, it's a big step forward.
What is the cost we are looking at for a parent with a special child or an adult looking to move into this inclusive community?
Okay, see, one is the cost of acquiring a home in Akshaya, and I think those prices are well known. It's there in the public domain. Approximately it's about 25-26 lakhs for a one bedroom, about 40-45 lakhs for a two bedroom, and about 55 lakhs something for a three bedroom. The advantage that Akshaya is giving us is they're going to customize a lot for us as part of the deal, as Mr. Chitti said, to make sure that the is accessible for anybody with a disability. The floors are non-skid, so many things like that, which they're doing as a part of the deal free of cost, which is wonderful. Then there will be a monthly cost for the staying in the group home. One part of it will be fixed in terms of the space in the group home and your basic amenities taken care of, which may run to about 15,000 rupees per month. Then comes things like food, medication, therapy and caregiving, which would be extra depending on the need. Because see, we should not assume that everybody with a disability, for example, cannot cook. There are a lot of youngsters I know who love cooking, they love baking. So they may not take food from the cafeteria all the time. They may say that I'll cook one meal, I'll only eat one meal, or I'll cook two meals, I just eat one meal in the cafeteria. So they will only pay for what they consume. Similarly for therapy services, for caregiving, some are quite independent, they just need a little bit of help in the morning to get up and get ready, and in the evening. So they'll have very limited care needs. And the advantage of a group housing is that when you have 4 people in an apartment, maybe that one caregiver can take care of 4 of them who need limited need. Therefore the cost comes down for the parent. You don't have to have a separate dedicated caregiver, which you will have at home. So you're sharing the cost. So that cost will be, of course, based on the actual thing. But typically in India, we have seen estimates of what it costs to have a child with a disability, in a kind of setup like this, runs from about 30,000 rupees to 40,000 rupees a month. This is what we have seen across India. We hope to be at the lower end, lower cost than anything else.
With me, actor Prithvi, popularly called Bablu. Prithvi, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We have discussed, interviewed you many times, how you have been so passionate about giving the best for your son. And when you heard about this project, what ran in your mind?
See, I'm still overwhelmed, okay? And parents like me, the fear that we have is what happens to our child after us. And when you visualize a home or a charity place, it's always run down and bad living conditions. So my son, however hard I work, however financial difficulties I have, I've made sure that he's well looked after. He has fun in life. So after me, what happens? So and especially the times that we are now in this corona, and I was quarantined last time, the first attack. So when you're sitting at in your room and not doing anything, all that plays is what happens to my child after me. The fear, and so many thoughts and so many ideas, but nothing actually was falling in place. And when I go see this place, and I was very, very sure that it'll be just an okay moderate, because when they do something like this, always second level, third level. But when I went and saw that there's no discrimination and inclusion, acceptance to the maximum, So we all my life, all I've been struggling about is to create awareness about autism, and people to get an acceptance and this inclusion in society to happen. And slowly, my dream is coming true. And slowly, I'm feeling safe that after me, when I was speaking on the stage, I got so emotional because every time I visualize my son living without me or without his mother, is really overwhelming.
Are you, in that sense, a relieved lot now?
Absolutely. Like when I went and saw the property, and they have taken care of small details, be it water or be it rain water harvesting, the electricity, and all the amenities. Like once you go inside that, you don't need to come out. Of course, just outside that area is very well developed now. It's a city township by itself, but Akshaya Foundation has made sure that best of the best, and the block that I want my son and I to live, I'm going to shift there as soon as it's ready in March.
Really?
Yeah, that's the idea. So my son already gets used to living there. So in March, as soon as this is done, I will shift there, and we will start living. So he gets used to the place and so on and so forth.
Joining us now, Mr. Chitti Babu, the Chairman and CEO of Akshaya Private Limited. Thank you very much for your time. What specific amenities would you be including to make sure it's completely inclusive in every sense?
See, when they come with a list of about 58 requirements for them, we have the project already had 54 of them. That is the best part. They in fact got completely satisfied because they came with a requirement of 58. Out of that, 54 is already there as a clubhouse, a swimming pool, gymnasium, theatre. You ask for anything, everything was almost there in the complex. It was the largest complex we have designed. And very specifically, they wanted a therapy center, they wanted a vocational training, they wanted a large kitchen, and they wanted a restaurant space, which is about 5,100, 5,200 square foot of requirement. We especially designed and accommodated that, and it is available for the entire complex. It's not only for SCAN, and it is for the entire complex. 2,134 families can use this facility, so that it also satisfies their requirement, and also the existing customers are very happy they are getting additionally these facilities for them.
And you were not so keen on having an exclusive project, but inclusive was your...
See, my point is I am very keen to join this SCAN only because it's inclusive living. If they would have said that I wanted this in an independent block or independent project, then there is nothing. No, it is selling a home. It is selling another home to another investor or another buyer or an end user. There's no thrill for us to learn. No, it is a building which we'll be designing and giving it to them. Then it is their lookout for maintaining it and all those kind of stuff. But here, there's a challenge for us. Means we have to accommodate their day-to-day requirement. We have to maintain. We have to see. Others are also coordinating. It's a interesting learning for us. Then once we understand this, we can able to do the same thing in various other projects of Akshaya.
These houses will be allotted, homes will be allotted in all the 20 plus blocks.
Yes.
No exclusive block or...
No. We have specifically said that it will be distributed here and there. It is not in a single place. So I don't want it to be identified as this is a separate block for SCAN. I don't want people to say this is separate. They should be part of this. So it is all in every block, wherever they want to choose. Somebody wanted in 4th floor.
Advantages?
Advantages, no, they are seen and they are being part of the overall the community, daily basis living. I come in the lift, I'll see somebody, I'll smile, I'll help, I'll exchange discussions with them. That is the best part. If you put them in one individual block, then they have to talk internally within them only. Right. The parent of one child has the same issue of the other parent. They have the day-to-day life. There's no difference.
Any specific challenges you expect?
I don't say that we don't expect any challenges. We are expecting number of challenges, and we will be addressing each point by point whenever it arises at that point of time. See, here it is creating awareness within the society, within the people. Of course, we are getting the support from SCAN as the parents are going to come forward and the children are going to come forward to get employed, get occupied. They come forward and said that we want to take up the jobs of few things, where we have at least a requirement of 200 people to work there. Right. So sometimes they can handle the reception desk, they can handle convenio, they can handle a small billing system in the restaurant. They can do, and also I've seen their talents. They make very interesting handicrafts by themselves. They sell within their community. Now they get an opportunity to sell with 12,500 people. Instead of selling within a small place, they can exhibit their
there will be no exclusive timing or nothing of that kind, be it swimming pool or clubhouse or gyms.
That's what I said. No, we don't. We wanted to say no to many things. Means we don't want to be say that's easy to do. Right. That's an easy thing to say that no, this is the timing, this is this thing. They should be also seen part of the overall development, part of the family. Then we should also accommodate it.
Lastly, the pricing may not be affordable for everyone.
Yeah.
As a company, are you also looking at in terms of bringing down the cost so even a middle class family with a special child or an adult will be able to move in here?
Very interesting question. This particular project will accommodate this particular range of 45 lakhs to 55 lakhs. Now we have, with this learning, we wanted to take this to a project even 10 lakh to 15 lakh, 20 lakh product also. See now, can you accommodate the 10 lakh, 20 lakh within this property? We don't have one. So now with the learnings, we can able to do that in the next projects. See, now some people will ask luxury housing. They'll be asking for 1.5 crore. We have another project, but we are not doing that immediately. We want to see the learning, what all need to be improved, what all need to be done at this design stage. So we'll be implementing in the new projects.
In a nutshell, what are the specific designs you have incorporated to be absolutely
Fantastic. See, we have made sure that from the entry of the main gate, people can independently reach their lift block. Even if it is a disabled, if it is a blind person, he can go with this stick and reach it with the flooring what we are specifically making and doing it for them, and the color codes, and so for in few lifts or Alexa operated lifts, they need not wait for. They can call. Come on, yeah, please. I want to go to the 7th floor. Come on, let me go to the lobby. Let me go to the terrace. Let me go to this particular floor. So whatever is technology enabled, we are trying to do most of those things. Then individual house requirements are easy to do. Means wheelchair accommodation into the bathrooms. The bathroom doors need to be larger, or anti-skid floor. These all generally we do for housing. That is not an issue. But the complex need to be transformed to accommodate the specific requirements and needs, that we are very carefully understanding the requirements, and most of it, whatever is acceptable and doable, we are doing it immediately.
Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
With me, Poonam Natarajan, the founder of Vidyasagar. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. And what will be the role of Vidyasagar?
What we are really trying to do is set up support systems in the community for people with disabilities, so that if parents feel, yes, my child will be able to take care of herself or himself, because so many support systems are there. So we really welcome to join.
These support systems include?
These support systems include a workforce like caregivers, they job coaches, peer counselors, and we have group home managers. Now, a group home is something which is coming out of shared housing. Or as you know, when we went to, after college, started working, we used to join with friends and share a flat. So the main idea is that once the parents are no more, to set up a kind of shared housing or a group home where people who may not be related with each other, but maybe around the same age, they can live together with a caregiver. But since we're talking about people with disabilities, they may need some support from outside. So we want to train group home managers who will, from outside, take care of the general, maintenance of a flat, looking after the paying of bills, repairs, management, looking at a little bit about the rhythm of the day of the people with disabilities, and how they would like to spend their time. You might need to do a bit of conflict resolution now and then, or financial planning, budgeting, what to make, who should do what, that kind of a thing, and the caregivers being there. So Vidyasagar's role is really training caregivers, training group home managers, and we would like to see how the group homes run at the Akshaya facility, because once even when the parents are there, a person with disability can choose to live, an adult can choose to live in a group home, and so there are not many in this country, and so this will give us a good experience of how to help set up these kind of shared living, and so Vidyasagar would be looking at such setting up across the board in terms of all economic groups.
Right.
Like we would do one or two in a housing board, or in a rural area. We are looking at panchayats funding maybe for 2-3 people who have lost their parents with disabilities, living together with one caregiver. So caregivers are also scarce in this country, and it's not a profession of choice at all. We want to make it a profession of choice. We want to train support
In that
workers.
sense, this community would be self-sufficient, taking care of all the requirements of these special, adults and children requiring special.
Yes, that's the main idea. The scans model is very good, because most of the parents associations want to buy land and build a residential outfit, But that is still isolating, it doesn't become inclusive. So SCAN has decided that in a gated community, in a already the setup is there, they will all buy flats there. So it'll be a kind of, there'll be a lot of synergy between non-disabled and disabled people. And our role really would be to support SCAN's parents, support the people of disability, to see how they would like to live together. SCAN is also going to have a common kitchen and a vocational work, and also therapy and things like that.
Would this pave way for a model which could be replicated across the country? Because
Definitely, that's what my interest is really, to see how we can support SCAN to build this model, which at least for middle class parents will be a good model. We're also looking at, government housing. Now the government of Tamil Nadu...
because not all can afford 40-50 lakh.
Of course, no. This is a very small segment.
Yes.
And when at Vidyasagar, most of our parents cannot afford this. So this will be for us a learning area. We'll be able to see because each person, it's a person with cerebral palsy or intellectual disability or autism, their needs are different. And when they're going to live together, how do we put it together? So it's all very early days for all of us. And it's like...
But is it first of its kind in India?
Well, there are certain, there is there are some experiments which have been done. But most of the experiments have been of just people with disabilities. Like the autism village. So that is okay. That is one way to live. But we want to try this inclusive thing. So in Coimbatore, Colonel Sridhar has tried some of this. It's more one-on-one there. The family, it's not like a whole parents' association has come together, where all the 100 families know each other. And they've been working together, they've been meeting on Sundays, have run this cafe called Mitra. We've been also, part of that. We go there, listen to music and all that. So here it's easier, it's more conducive for a community to grow, and also the support of the non-disabled community. I haven't seen the other ones, but I think it is a new model, so to say, and I'm really quite hopeful that it'll be a very good learning, and it'll be very successful to get, because both Akshaya and SCAN are very positive to trying this out for inclusive living.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Joining us now, Ms. Suhasini, ma'am, thank you very much for your time. What does this project mean to you?
People who need assistance and special needs, their children are going to be housed here. So even after the parents' old age, I think the children are going to be safe. Like for disabled children, there is no age limit. Even after 30, they might need a lot of assistance. So it's like assisted living for the children with special needs or people with special needs, where I think the parents can be happy that after their time, they will be well looked after. And it's not like they're living in a separate township where only people with disabilities are living. They're living with normal families. And 1,900 normal families are going to be there, and 100 or 200, families of people with special needs are going to be there. So it's a great inclusion. I am so happy that Mr. Chitti Babu is doing this, because I think this is the first time. Because you talk about senior living too, like in another 15 years I will need assisted living. So some of my friends say, like, how can you live alone with older people? There should be younger people. I was not sure if younger people are interested in living with us, but with children and adults with special needs, I think it's very important that normal families stay with them.
Yeah, they'll enjoy.
So he's making it a reality. They learn so much about life, looking at how blessed they are and how lucky they are to be normal compared to the other struggles that the others are going through. So I think, and they're not looking after them anyway. They're being looked after by the SCAN organization and others. So I think it's a win-win situation, and I think it's the first humane kind of real estate project that I have seen in India.
Right. And it could be a model which even the government should replicate in terms of making it more affordable even for the common man. Yes. There could be poor people who...
I'm sure, I think it can become a model, I think, see, who's government? Government is people.
Right.
So when people come up with ideas like this, I think government will take it up and do it. Government cannot come up with all the creative or the, thoughtful ideas. It has to come from citizens. So it's come from citizens and...
Actually, government is very keen to do such projects. It's already there in slum clearance board, and it is already there in the Tamil Nadu housing board societies. This is part of it. Tamil Nadu is the only government where you have the 4% allocation for this. They want to sincerely implement this. I'm sure that we will create a record and a document of the whole thing which is going to happen in this particular project next 9 months, and we'll produce this to the government, whatever successfully we are implementing in our project.
Thank you. With me, Mrs. Radha Ramesh, again a parent. Ma'am, what does this mean for parents like you?
It is for all parents like me who is going to be looking after my children after my death. That is actually a nightmare for every family, every parent, okay, who has that. It gives them an immense worry. What do I do? This type of initiative, having a group home in a community, is going to solve many of their worries, and also it's going to be the peace which the parents are going to enjoy once they get to know that there is someone who is going to be there after me to look after my child in all the possible ways. Because if you look at this initiative, I get to know that there's going to be there's a lot of amenities like a park and a gym and a clubhouse, and also there's going to be vocational center, which is actually, this is what any parent want. They don't want a child to sit ideally in one place, somebody look after them, giving them food, water. They also want their child, they believe in their child, and they want them to contribute. So there is a lot of give and take in them. So it is like they also can contribute to the community, and the community also can take care of them. I think it's a fabulous idea, and I hope that this type of gated community, inclusive independent living community comes many more across the country.
It's certainly a new beginning in inclusive housing, and many hope this would pave way for a new model that could be replicated across the country for people of all means. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.